Miss Williams here is going viral over her choices of outfit that she wears to school.
Hi lovelies and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're welcome to Building the Verse. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video.
I don't know about you guys, but I almost hate to admit that I don't think I would get any learning done with, we have strict dress codes at school for the girls. And when it comes to tights, you have to have shirts over your bottom that cover it completely. 100% inappropriate, baby. You're propped up against the bus. That ain't, no. As shown here, though, you can see that she can dress classy. This one was crazy to me, and yes, it's her day off, but it says Miss Williams, hashtag Miss Williams, on a day off. Teachers of TikTok. I don't know, but I thought that teachers' TikToks and, social medias had to be really, kind of bland. Or this one, the only C's my students will see, and she has a Chanel purse. Do you know how many of your students can afford a Chanel purse? Or their parents, do you know how many of them can afford a Chanel purse? Touch grass, baby. And this really took the cake for me. The name of the student was on this paper, and she's got it on her TikTok. I don't know, maybe I just blew it out of proportion, but
Teacher Bay's whole style, the way she talks, is a clear indicator that she works in predominantly black public school systems that are lacking in everything. They have truancy issues, the PTA is dissolved, the parents are not involved, and they're lacking in funding. The way that she talks, acts, and her demeanor would never work in certain suburban areas or in private school systems, so she's exactly where she needs to be. I saw one of her videos where she was like, yeah, I still got a job, and it's like, of course you do. Those schools have a major problem with trying to keep people. They don't make enough money, and they don't even feel protected or respected in the workspace. So only certain type of people are going to want to work in certain type of school systems anyway. Because you can best believe parents who actually give a damn about the school system, they're going to put their kids in the best public school system possible. They move to certain areas, and the first thing that they want to check on is the school system. They go up there, take tours, they look around, and if they don't like what they see, their kid is not going there. These schools are full of young teachers these days that do nothing but have hookup culture and make TikToks. She says, oh, I'm not doing it for the kids. Obviously, you're doing it for the other males that are around your age at the job. Them teacher work days be nothing but them linking up and drinking. Any of you have teacher friends, you know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. I went to a school that had a good mix of age ranges when it came to teachers, but it seems like all the older teachers from back then, when COVID kicked off, they went ahead and retired, or they furthered their education and became professors at this point. And of course, y'all want some of these teachers to hold themselves to a certain standard, but in some of these predominantly black areas, they just don't care. They're just as ghetto as the students. They ghetto as hell, and they messy too. But this is another reason why I tell people you should just wait to have kids until you get your money right, so you can put them in certain private schools or move into certain areas that offer a private school education, but it's public school because, the area that you're in. Because you won't have to deal with shit like this. This wouldn't even be a conversation that made it to social media with these private schools. A lot of them are not even able to come on social media and do all this talking at these private schools. There's something left for them ghetto public schools. Just saying.
Let me tell y'all something. No matter what someone wears to work, whether they're dressed in provocative or if they're dressed in looking like somebody grandmama or granddaddy, or hell, even come in butt naked, y'all will always have something to say about it. Y'all can never be satisfied. So I see that Miss Williams, she actually goes by Teacher Bay here on this app. She's actually getting dragged by a majority of women on here because they did not like the outfits that she's been wearing to work with her being a school teacher. They believe that she should dress more appropriate, like more loose clothes fitting or a pencil skirt or whatever, something that doesn't really show her curves a lot. Look, you got to remember that we're in the day and age that these are type teachers that we have as young as she is, and this is how they dress. Now, I saw a photo of someone had that photo that went viral, and I'm going to put a picture right here. Now, the teachers I had back when I was in school from kindergarten to 12th grade, they dressed like this. And now your kids that's in school right now, a lot of these teachers dress like what Miss Williams are dressing like right now. We already know what she's doing. She's drawing attention to herself. People are saying that maybe the principal is a man. She's trying to get his attention. There's a lot of male teachers that she's probably attracted to. She's trying to get their attention as well. And of course, with her being the shape that she is right now, of course, a lot of boys looking at her, and that's what she wanted. So we already know she ain't trying so hard. She actually liked that. So for y'all to come on here and drag this girl for dressing inappropriately, do y'all prefer for her to just dress fully clothed, fully, nothing but pencil skirts or pencil dress or whatever? But hell, even if she dressed that on, y'all gonna drag her for saying, well, why the hell she dressing like somebody's grandma, or just like she can't put on appropriate clothes? So no matter what she put on, y'all still would never be satisfied with that. So before y'all start dragging Miss Williams on the outfits that she wear as a teacher, let's talk about a lot of these teachers that your child has been in the classroom with, dressing like they don't even put enough effort into dressing appropriately going to school. I mean, I seen them wearing joggers. I see someone wearing leggings. Some of them just threw some clothes on and went to work, hair not even combed. Let's drag them so y'all decide to drag her instead. And another thing, if the school that she's at had a problem with her dress code, she would have been corrected, or she would have been let go, because I'm pretty sure she already know about the dress code that she's supposed to wear, but she just chose to wear that. So which means that she's not going anywhere, and the school does not have a problem with it. So y'all just really need to leave that girl alone. And also, what I didn't like is that a lot of y'all tends to call the school trying to get this lady fired. I'm like, look, just like she had did a follow-up video saying that she's still at the school, she's still teaching. I think she said she's a reading teacher as well. So again, she's not going anywhere. So y'all opinions really don't even matter. So I mean, I look at it as, it's 2025. Teachers these days dress different versus when we was in school. We have teachers that dress like this. We have a lot of middle-aged, older people as our teachers. And right now, the teachers are at the school system now are actually very young, like Miss Williams. So if you don't like it, if your child happen to be in her class, just pull them out the class and put them in another class, or take them out the school. That's the only thing you can do. So y'all just leave that lady alone and let her be.
Miss Williams Tichabe, the woman who has suddenly become the face of an online debate about teachers, professionalism, class, and social media. She didn't go viral for a lesson plan or a new teaching method or some innovation in the classroom. She went viral for outfits. Outfits she wore to school, outfits she wore on TikTok, outfits she posted on her days off. And that alone should tell you a lot about where we are as a society, because when a teacher's wardrobe sparks more outrage than a school's reading levels, something is out of place. Let's start with the obvious, the outfit. The critique that keeps circulating is that if students are held to strict dress codes, no tights without coverage, no tank tops, no showing too much skin, then why can't a teacher step into the classroom dressed in ways that would get a student sent to the office? That double standard is fueling resentment. People see it as hypocrisy, a system where young girls are policed for their clothes, yet the adult in charge is free to blur the same lines. Now, some defend Miss Williams by saying she simply dresses fashionable, that she's young, stylish, and not hurting anyone. But the critics point out that the classroom is not just another runway of TikTok sets. When you are a teacher, you are in a position of authority, and with authority comes responsibility. Responsibility to set an example, responsibility to reflect the professionalism of your role, and responsibility to make yourself the distraction. But that's only one part of the controversy, because what really made people stop scrolling wasn't just the leggings or the tight tops or the boss photo. It was the captions, it was the TikToks. Take for example the line, "The only sees my students will see a cheeky joke" for TikTok paired with a Chanel purse. For some, that was harmless hormone. For others, it was deeply tone deaf. The Chanel bag represents luxury, excess, and a lifestyle that many of our students and their parents will never touch. Flexing that kind of wealth in front of kids who may not even have reliable Wi-Fi at home That struck a nerve. It highlighted the class divide that already exists between teachers and students in struggling schools. And then there is a real problem. Posting student names. That was the moment when the debate shifted from inappropriate to is this potentially a violation? Because students' privacy isn't a joke. Schools have policy, and in many cases, laws like FRAPA in the US make it clear that student information is not content to be mined for clout. The fact that she casually displayed a student's name in her TikTok wasn't just unprofessional, it was reckless. Now let's widen the lens, because this isn't just about one woman and her wardrobe. It's about the environment she works in and what people perceived when they watch her. Critics are saying her styles, her demeanor, her way of talking, even her sense of humor are all indicators of a very specific kind of school system, predominantly black, underfunded with high truancy, disengaged parents, and constant turnover of staff. Schools where young teachers are often thrown into the fire, where older, more experienced teachers retired during COVID or left for better opportunities, leaving behind the revolving door of 20 something just trying to survive. That context matters because in those environments, the standards are already lower, not in theory, but in practice. Discipline is harder to maintain, resources are scarce, and teachers hasn't necessarily respected by the system, with the parents or even the students. So someone like Miss Williams strives there not because she's a strong educator, but because the bar for what counts as acceptable behavior is different. Would her TikToks fly in a suburban private school? Absolutely not. Would she last long in a wealthy district where parents flood the PTA with demands, where every teacher is monitored and the community is invested in outcomes? Probably not. In those systems, professionalism is enforced not by the school board, but by parental power. Parents who have the power and the leverage to say, if you don't meet our standards, our kids are gone. But in underfunding public schools, the turnover is already high. Administrators are desperate to keep bodies in classrooms, so they tolerate more because if they fire her, they might not have anyone to replace her. And this raises a bigger issue: the gentrification of education in America. Wealthy families can pick up and move to areas with well-funded schools, or they can pay for private education. Middle-class parents strategize around zip codes and property taxes. Meanwhile, poor families, many of them black and brown, are trapped in schools that lack resources, lack oversight, and often lack teachers who are invested long-term. So when someone like Miss Williams pops up online, she becomes a symbol of what happens when the system stops holding the line. Instead of the role models, you get influencers. Instead of mentorship, you get entertainment. Instead of education, you get clown chasing. Now, let's talk about culture, because the harshest critics against Miss Williams hasn't just about her outfit or her Chanel bag. They are about what people perceive as ghetto. And yes, that word is loaded. When people say she's as ghetto as the students, they are expressing disgust at a cultural overlap. They expect teachers to rise above, to present themselves as polished, professional, and aspirational. Instead, what they see is a teacher blending in, behaving like a student, engaging in the same slang, the same aesthetics, the same social media trends. For some, that is relatability. For others, it's failure, because if the person meant to guide kids out of the circle is stuck in the same circle, then who is leading who? This ties into another point: generational shift. Older teachers are gone. Many retired during the pandemic. Many choose to go into higher education or different careers. What is left in the public school pipeline are younger teachers, often treating the job less as a long life calling and more as a temporal paycheck. They teach for a few years, then leave, and during those years, they bring their culture with them. Hookup culture, TikTok culture, influencer culture. For them, teaching is not scared, it's content. That is why when you see Miss Williams laughing on TikTok saying, "Yeah, I still got a job," it's not shocking, it's expected. She knows the school can't afford to lose her. She knows the system is desperate. so she flaunt the fact that she can blend the rules. And here's the uncomfortable truth: in many ways she's right. The system is broken. The parents who care have already moved their kids out. The parents who don't have the resources to move their kids are left in schools with lower standards, lower oversight, and teachers who are not afraid to be messy online. That is why so many commenters say get your money right before you have kids, move into better districts, or pay for private schools, because in those environments this would not fly. Teachers at private schools aren't allowed to make this kind of content. They can't post provocative TikToks, they can't flex general bags in front of broke students. The standards are enforced by the community. So what we are really looking at here is not just one teacher's choice, but the collapse of public education in certain areas when schools can't afford to enforce standards, when parents aren't involved, and when teachers are free to patronize clowns over the classroom. You get situations like this. And yes, the optics matter, because for a lot of people, seeing Miss Williams on TikTok isn't just about her. It's about what she represents. She represents distraction instead of discipline. She represents clown instead of class. She represents a system where the line between teacher and influencer has blurred to the point where no one can tell which one she is. So the real question isn't whether Miss Williams should wear what she wears or post what she posts. The real question is, what does it take say about the school that allow her to keep doing it? Because at the end of the day, a teacher is a reflection of her school. If her image is unprofessional, the school looks unprofessional. If her behavior is reckless, the school looks reckless. And if the school doesn't care, then what message does that send to the students? Miss Williams may think she's just having fun, being stylish, living her life, but the reason she's gone viral is because people see her as a symptom of a bigger disease, the disease of underfunded, under-respected, and under-monitored public education. And until that sickness is treated, Miss Williams won't be the last teacher we see go viral. She will be just the latest.
And if you have watched up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. Alright, lovely. See you when I upload the next video.